Well, I'm Bruce Ross. I'm a lawyer. I practice with Sapar Shaw in Los Angeles. I also have my own mediation practice.
And I'm Eileen Gallo, and I practice. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I practice in Los Angeles, California. We met, we knew each other sort of peripherally. Bruce is a trust and estates litigator, and my late husband, John Gallo, was an estate planner. And John and I had presented several times at the Hawaii Tax Institute. And the year that he passed away, 2014, Alan asked me to do a presentation, a memorial for my late husband, and I was here at the Hawaii Tax Institute, and that was 2014. And Bruce and I met, ran into each other at one of the little buffet cocktail receptions, and we actually began a friendship.
Well, I think that's one of the great benefits of the Institute and the fact that it goes on for 5 days, because each evening there are opportunities to, as you said, network, just to get to know people, to get better acquainted, to meet new friends, to run into old friends who've come in to Honolulu for the conference. There's some wonderful events oftentimes during the day as well when the sessions are not full on. It's just a great opportunity. There's a, to use an overused phrase, there's a real aloha spirit in Honolulu and at this convention that I think sets it apart really from most other conventions of this kind. Yes.
There's an ice cream social one day in the afternoon. That's great.
That's right. One of the breaks.
Yeah.
Ice cream social. Just a lot of opportunities to get better acquainted with folks and to meet them in a more casual atmosphere.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about the Hawaii Tax Institute is its casualness. I mean, the environment of Hawaii is a wonderful, wonderful place to have a conference, but also the people and the way it's set up. The whole tenor, I think, of the Institute is one of just being casual and friendly and open and welcoming. I've always enjoyed it.
And at the same time, the quality of the presentations is just as good as any other presentation you might hear in another locale that isn't quite as welcoming, really, as Honolulu. Well, one thing, I mean, it's more or less self-evident, but because of the time change, the significant difference, not just with the East Coast, but even with the West Coast of the mainland, there are less opportunities for those of us who are engaged in the conference to be interrupted by work demands. We're available, but it's not the same, I have to keep looking at my iPhone or my iPad or to make sure that I'm staying in touch. I mean, we've got good people who work with us, and they know how to reach us in an emergency. At the same time, we have a chance to kick back a little bit. We don't normally get when we're in town, whether it's Los Angeles or New York or Chicago.
It was a cocktail reception at one of the hotels. Wasn't the Sheraton, it was another hotel. And we met at the hors d'oeuvre table.
That's right.
Well, that's the Halakalani.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Beautiful setting.
Right.
Beautiful hotel, well worth. They always have an event or two there, and it's always a great event to go to. And I happened to see Eileen across the way, and came over and said hello. We hadn't seen each other since before John had passed away, and one thing led to another, and a couple of years later we got together and got married in 2018, and now we've done. The two of us have done three programs together for HTI, and looking forward to doing more.
Yeah.
Well, there's almost too many events, really, because there are opportunities every night, really, and there's always an ability to find an event or just to meet with some friends or new friends, old friends, and get together and go out on the town and enjoy yourself. It's just I don't think any metropolitan area in the mainland United States can quite doesn't have the same opportunities for socializing and kicking back, and at the same time being able to focus quite intently on the very substantive content that the HTI presents every year. Well, again, because of the location, the fact really that the events, the professional events themselves are all in one hotel. So you're bound to run into so many people throughout the convention, and then you have additional opportunities in the evenings and over the lunch hour and so forth to make further contacts and network further. It's really an opportunity to take real advantage of all the time that you have in Hawaii for the week.
And then you can go to some of the other islands too. When you're finished with the attending the wonderful sessions at the Hawaii Tax Institute, you could go to Kauai or...
I remember our first program together. Eileen's much more focused sometimes than I am, I have to admit, and she was preparing...
I like to rehearse.
She was preparing and rehearsing, and I was on my iPad because we were planning a jaunt over to Kauai after the convention. But things worked out, I think, both for the program and for our trip to Hawaii. So,
and for us too.
Yes.
And things worked out for us too. So years later, we were married. That all started at the Hawaii Tax Institute for us.